Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Reality.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is Suddenly Amish, Season 1, Episode 8, A Day of Reckoning.
This is the big finale, you guys. This is what we've been building to over the course of an entire season of reality television. It all comes to this point.
I kind of think that production realized that they had to finish this out somehow, and this is how they imagined the ending of the show being, but it really didn't make sense with like everything that was in the middle.
It's still feeling like they're making 3 different shows, and then we're getting all of those mashed together here, just smushed in, and we have to make sense of it as a viewing audience because production's like, I don't really know.
Yeah. Welcome back, by the way.
Oh
After your absence last week.
Yeah, thanks.
Amy and I covered the episode together.
Yes.
I was upset watching it air on TV because there was a lot that I did not hear in the screener.
Well, same on this one. So I didn't miss out on that experience. Because,
no, I'm telling you, though, the audio was better in this one.
Yeah.
Last week, it was 10 times worse.
I've watched plenty of rough cuts in my life. Yeah, and I have some editing experience.
I know, but anytime Aaron talked in particular, his mic was hot.
Hot. Yeah, because it was usually on the aside interviews, so they were able to mic him up real good. And then the other parts where the audio was real bad was in like the Day of Reckoning ceremony, church service thing.
I don't know what to call it.
It was like we didn't have the individual mics wired up for that day, and so we were just using ambient sound of what we have, and we have to go back and touch it up later. Yeah, this was picture lock, so
it'd be nice if they did that for us before we watched it.
No.
There was a lot lost in the last episode.
The time code in the top right kept distracting me too, because then I was like, oh God, I'm only 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
I'm struggling.
That's what happened to me last week.
I'm struggling.
Yeah, you can't show me how much time is left in the episode the whole time I'm watching it.
Yeah, keeping an eye.
Well, here we are. We start with a flashback.
It wasn't sepia tone, so it was hard to tell if it was a flashback.
But also very Sister Wives-esque.
Starting with
2 months earlier.
2 months ago.
But also kind of Bravo-like. I feel like they're channeling Housewives with showing us something that happened 2 months earlier that they have not alluded to yet.
Usually there's a reason why they're showing you, though. There wasn't really a reason for this. They were just like, I don't know, do we just show like how far they've come and how different things are now for them, I guess
that's what they're trying to do. They're showing Judah. So he's the first flashback we get, and he's in the studio. And he's recording a song about finding himself.
They keep flashing back to Kansas City, and that was where he introduced himself as he's from Kansas City. But then he's talking about family in Atlanta.
At the end of the episode, he goes to Atlanta.
And it was like, sir, what? Where are we from? What? So maybe it's like, he lives in Kansas City, and then he has family in Atlanta or something.
Maybe he's from Atlanta, but now he lives
in Kansas City. So he introduced himself as being from Kansas City.
And now he's in Lancaster.
And now that's where he is right now, yes. But he doesn't know for how long because this secret is still lingering here, that he's bi.
Right, they left us on a cliffhanger in the last episode where BJ asked Alan about the fact that she has gay friends, she's an ally. Tell me, what is the perspective from the Amish community? Because that could be a real issue for me. And then Judah was feeling like, I can't believe BJ brought that up before I brought it up, when the whole time I've been here, I've been like thinking about the fact that this was something that I was going to need to talk to Alan about. And so then we get pulled back into current day, and we see that he comes out to Alan and James.
And Sarah.
And Sarah. Sarah's there too.
Sarah's there too.
I was thinking about that, but then later, Sarah doesn't even get a voice to the bishop, I guess because she's a woman.
Oh, well, then also we flashed to Bishop Vernon's wife, Mary, at one point in the audience there. I was like, that poor woman. That poor woman.
He's a large man.
He's a large guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just lumbering. I don't know. It's alarming. I'm a little nervous. Nervous for her. specifically.
This has been something that they have really been drumming up the entire season, is this moment where we're going to have to get an answer from the Amish about whether or not they're going to accept Judah. And we really don't get much from them other than them saying it's not biblical when BJ asked.
Right.
And then they kind of all just sit there in contemplation after we hear Judah say, I'm bi and I'm not going to hide it. That's something that I've already been through in my life. And so that could be a big issue for me if I want to stay here.
Yeah, like if I'm not accepted here, then I don't know how I could continue to try to join this community, which, yeah, I think that is pretty clear there, where it's like, yeah, you wouldn't be able to because they wouldn't accept you. Or if they accept you, are there a ton of caveats that are going with that? Or how would this look?
It just felt like, again, from a production standpoint, we had James chase Matt off the property with an axe because he was divorced. And now Judah comes out and it's like a lead balloon. Like there was nothing.
Nothing. No response, no interaction.
Not that I want it to be negative, but it just like there was no response.
You think they did go negative and then they were like, cut that.
Maybe.
Cut that out.
I mean, Amy and I were talking last week about how Judah really seems to be like the cornerstone of this season. That I don't know if there'll be another season of Suddenly Amish, but everybody really likes him and is seeing him grow. Even the people on the show, like we hear Alan talk so much about like how he feels like Judah is his son and that he's seeing so much progress in him, that if it was to be a really negative reaction, I think the audience would be upset by that.
I don't know. I think they had a lot of their eggs in the Amish basket are for Aaron. They're like, Aaron's a good worker. Aaron's doing all the stuff. And I think he'd really fit in very well here with the Amish community. So, I mean, yeah, I think they're leaning into Judah being like a fan favorite probably, or like the most relatable experience for this. Because it's like, do you think BJ's that relatable as far as...
No, she showed up here day one dressed
Amish and like basically living Amish without actually living Amish. So, yeah, I don't think that was necessarily resonating with the viewing audience, so to speak. So yeah, I was just worried that
personality pick.
I was worried that James was going to be like, "Is it contagious?" Like
I was waiting for James to say something like absolutely ignorant,
something off the wall, something out of left field, something that's like, "Ooh, yeah, don't do that." So I don't know. Maybe they did, and it was like, "Oh, it was a little too much." So dial it back.
I have like mixed feelings about it. We can get into it because it ends up coming up again towards the end of the episode, but I'm not sure what to think about this show just in its entirety, but especially having watched the finale. I feel like I'm left more confused than ever about what I just consumed.
Well, they try to explain to us, or remind us, I guess, of how the reckoning works, because this is Reckoning Day.
Well, they haven't told us. They just keep referencing the reckoning.
Yeah.
And we've had no idea what that means. We know generally that it's going to be whether they decide if they're going to stay or not, but like nobody's really like given us the play-by-play.
Okay, here's what happened. The producers were like, just say it's the Reckoning Day. That'll sound ominous. We'll figure out what we'll do for the Reckoning Day by the time we get to the Reckoning Day. And then 30 days goes past, and then they're like, shit.
We got so distracted by like the whole love storyline that we were building that we kind of forgot. Yeah, did you notice they used that little building that, I don't know if it is a little church or it's a little barn or something that's been on the property that they've just shown every time they tell us how beautiful the landscape is. That suddenly, like, that's where the reckoning takes place, even though the church is clearly much larger.
Oh, yeah.
Because when they did go have that,
the drone footage was different.
Yeah. Well, when they had that Sunday lunch and church, there were a lot more people.
Yes. And they did not allow cameras. So, yeah, you wouldn't be able to film there. And then I don't know if Bishop Vernon is actually the bishop of this community.
I don't think so. I also think everybody who was there was an extra.
Yes.
They just they dressed them up, just like they dressed the English up who are on the show.
Correct. That's what they spent 30 days making all of the wardrobe for all of these extras to show up at the reckoning.
Sarah spent 30 days making all the wardrobe.
Sarah did. Waking up at 3 a.m. every day before the crack of dawn. And she's out there. She's just working.
She's like, next time you need to cast someone who's English who knows how to sew.
Yeah.
I need some help.
something.
I can't do it all myself.
You can't have people leaving. Yeah, like we needed help. We needed more people to make these outfits here. And we have less.
The way this is going to work is that James and Alan, again, not Sarah, because, she's a woman. The two of them are going to go and give Bishop their... Bishop? That's what I just named him. What's
Bishop.
His name? Bishop Vernon. They're going to give him their perspective on who should stay and who should go.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the congregation as a whole is going to decide if they are also on the same page. And then the person that they're referencing, so the English contestant, gets to then decide if they're going to stay or go, because this has to be consensual.
Okay. Yeah. Consent is very important. And I think it's weird, though, with the congregation needing to agree, where the system that we've come up with is Bishop Vernon will glance around the room and check for nods. So you nod if you agree that the person should still be under consideration, and then they'll have to decide for themselves. If you don't want them to be, continued consideration here, then just don't move.
Stay very still.
Don't make eye contact. Don't nod. Don't do anything. Okay. But I feel like there should be more of a definitive sort of voting process, I guess. Like,
we need paddles or
red
something.
For yes, blue for no, something. Some sort of system that could be enacted here.
Man, I miss Ryan and Gypsy Rose.
Do you think he could make it as an Amish? I think it would be too hot for him.
Oh, forget it.
He'd be sweating.
Yeah.
A lot of sweat.
Remember when he was sweating in one of the episodes of, was it like the first season with Gypsy?
There was a lot of sweating.
He had the sweat towel, the rag that he had to carry around the kitchen.
That's correct. Yeah. But he was a teacher, so he has a similar backstory to like 50% of the people who are still involved in the show.
So many people who are on this have really noble careers. Like Aaron is a special education teacher, but also an actor, I guess.
So he claims. Yeah. To be fair, we didn't see him teaching in a class.
No, he was just in an empty classroom.
He was in an empty classroom, which I get. There's a whole bunch of rights release stuff that you would have to do to film kids and have them on TV for that purpose.
Unless you're on a TLC show, and then
it's whatever.
You just say
you just get the parents to sign.
Exactly.
And then,
and you have to pay them or anything.
Yeah, it's great. So that's how that's laid out here. But he's definitely an actor. He has an IMDb page. He has a bunch of stuff that he's been in. He's like a location scout on some stuff. So he's he
seems busy.
He's been in the biz, and it could have been that he was just knew somebody through production who was like, hey, we need people who are doing this stuff and to come out to Lancaster for a summer and pretend like you're going to be Amish.
That's true. That's very convenient, because if he is a teacher, you have the summer off to come film this. Same with Esme, because Esme works with kids who have autism. And I don't know if she works in a school or what the setting is. That's kind of all we've heard about her job. But I'm like, can we not lose somebody who that's what you've studied in school and that's what you're out here doing in the world? Can we not lose you to an Amish community?
Well, Amish community needs that support too, I suppose.
I don't think that they really spend a lot of time focusing on education.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Not as much.
It's not something they're really known for.
Different here. What was the other part? Okay, so the other thing with Reckoning was that's the start of the process, because this is just for today. Reckoning Day is
to get your shot at even trying to become Amish.
The community has to say, yeah, we're still good with considering you. And then you have to decide if you are interested in pursuing this. Then there's a 2 to 3 year process that begins where you're just kind of trial member sort of stuff that's going on. And then you have to learn the language and show that you're proficient in that.
You have to work on community projects. So you have to show you're invested in the community, you're invested in being there long term and being part of their culture. And then you have to do a 6-month discipleship and be baptized at the end in their church.
Baptized into the church. And then that's pretty much you're in from there. But how many people do you think get to the
I was just going to say, I think there's a lot of people that don't make it that long.
Yeah, maybe in the 2 to 3 year period when people are I don't think I can do it, and then they stop. So it's just, I guess I'll have to figure that out along the way here. But this is just determining who potentially could still be doing that, and then you have to decide if you still want to do that too.
All right, so we're here at the Reckoning in the very, very small barn with like a group of maybe 20 people tops.
The fake church. Yeah, it's not the real church.
And we start with Alan. So Alan stands up and starts talking about each one of the people who are left here, because we started with 6 and we're down to 4.
Yeah, we already lost 2 people along the way.
I feel like they should have made Kendra and Matt come back.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
You know, just to tell them what they thought of them.
Oh, I think we have a pretty good idea of what they thought of them. I didn't think that they were a good fit.
Wasn't this just like super unrealistic too? Because we haven't seen them interact with any of the people who were there. Aside from, I mean, like obviously, you know, we had James and Sarah and Alan and the bishop. The bishop they had very little interaction with.
Yeah.
And then all of the people we're supposed to believe that are part of the Amish community who are voting as to whether or not they should be able to stay, they've had zero interaction with from what we've seen.
It feels like they're just really weighting this on Alan's opinion. And that's what they're going with, is just like, if he thinks that they're good to join, then I think we'll probably just stick with that. We'll just go off of his judgment, and then, yeah, just let it go with that, I suppose. I trust Alan's judge of character more than anybody else's, more than James's, to be honest, too.
Yeah. The bishop is done with James at this point. I'm surprised he even let him speak. Okay, it was funny when they did BJ's flashback right before Alan spoke, because like everyone else has had like a lot of things going on in their lives, right? Like we have like careers and things to go back to. And then we have BJ, and she's just like wearing her Amish clothes, and she's sitting in a gazebo somewhere in the Berkshires, and her parents are like, yeah, I really, really am hoping that like they don't reject her, because that'll just crush her.
This is really the only thing BJ's got going on.
Yes.
And this was all she really had planned for this summer. This is her entire future, basically, is riding on this. Like, man, I really hope that they're able to look past all of the shortcomings here.
I feel like they're like tired of explaining to people that like she just dresses Amish, but she's like not Amish.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's commit to this then. And then we can just tell people you're Amish.
Just let it happen. Yeah. Just go through it. See this through, to the end here. But
so Alan just compliments everyone.
Yeah. It was like not critical things at all. Didn't divulge any real information about like any of the concerns or the things that have come up along the way of like, there was just like general is good. Is very good.
It was like, that's what you came up with after all this time you spent with them?
Yeah.
You have, I might as well just not had you be here.
Yeah.
You're reporting back nothing.
Yeah, there's not.
I mean, he's so nice.
He's just trying to, like, is he trying to give them an in where he's basically like, yeah, it's real good.
I feel like they're trying to lean into Alan's the good guy, good cop, bad cop. They know James is going to be the one who's going to get up here and say negative things about people. So they had Alan basically just be everyone's cheerleader.
Yeah. That was the juxtaposition here was, I don't know how we set up the entire season to have James be the villain though. Cause it was like, we should have cast somebody who we didn't root for, somebody who was like trying to skirt around stuff, or like somebody that everybody universally would agree to like, no, they shouldn't be in the community.
Right. As far as the English.
Yeah.
Yeah. We needed somebody who we really didn't. I guess maybe that was supposed to be Matt.
Yeah.
But then he disappeared. You can't lose people along the way.
You can't.
We need to get to Reckoning Day and have there be stakes.
Yeah. And like, just as far as like the investment would go, then from that perspective too, of like an audience viewing perspective, like, I have to have something to root for or against.
I mean, even the bishop is like, is there anything they could change, Alan? Is there anything you could possibly think of that maybe we should consider that could be a negative against them?
Nope.
And he's like, no.
Nothing comes to mind.
Judah, I want to give a big shout out to Judah because Judah has had a lot of growth.
Judah actually has overcome more being here than anybody else who's been here. Like, a lot.
Trying to make you believe that he was going to like out him to the bishop, and that in the end, the conflict that Alan is facing internally, it would prevail that he would stay on the side of the Amish.
But again, they didn't even do that. Like,
No.
if you're building anticipation for that, didn't get that as part of the conflict.
Right. We should have had a lot more of him, like, feeling like he's got this inner turmoil about, like, how close he's grown to Judah and feeling like he's his son and, feeling this conflict of, like, your religious beliefs versus, getting to know a person for who they are and seeing that maybe, like, that belief doesn't, like, jive with your real life experience.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Nothing
Like that.
No build up to that. No anticipation. No anything. It was just
like,
really...
did Alan learn anything? Because, like, if we're going to have the English learn something, we also have to have the Amish learn something, right?
Well, yeah, and I think that was his goal. His goal was always just, I hope to lead them to live a better life. If that means coming and living with the Amish and doing that as part of this community, great. If it doesn't mean that, good. Then, like, you learned that at least.
Okay. I just think for reality TV, that's, like, a very blah.
Yeah.
Like,
well, nothing changes.
That's nice of you. That's noble of you. That reality TV is not nice and noble.
Well, Alan is. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, where it's like, okay, well, you need to have James's point of view. So that's where, we shift gears where it's like, all right, James is going to pop up and he's got a couple of things to talk about. He's got a few things to say. Not really a glowing review necessarily of the people.
But I feel like he even kind of tempered himself a little bit.
He did?
So he talks about BJ. BJ, she likes her AC even though she dresses Amish.
It was good that you came dressed Amish. It really was.
That did get you some points in the positive column.
That was good. The air conditioning stuff, the heat exhaustion thing, it's a real big setback.
Yeah, maybe if you could just, like, stop talking about it, that I don't miss the air conditioning too.
Yeah, like, it's making me uncomfortable.
It's making me hot.
Yeah.
You talking about how hot and sweaty you are all the time.
It's terrible, actually, really. And then Esme, she's just not sure. She's not committing to the Amish community. She's got one foot in, she's got one foot out. Yeah, dude, because she's like, I only got one more day here. In the back of her mind.
I'm just trying to get my full paycheck.
That's what's going on here. Yeah, she's just ready to get out of here at this point. But he was trying to say she's a girly girl. I was like, is that an Amish term? I don't think so.
Where'd you learn that one?
So, I mean, like, it was mostly just criticisms of everybody. Because then...
Yeah, but they were just, like, the same things that we've been seeing about them, right? Everybody came in here with a character to play. BJ... needs air conditioning. Esme needs fake lashes and nails.
Yeah.
Aaron needs his hearing aids.
Yeah, because it was like, oh, Aaron was doing a real good job. Good with the work, good with integrating and, like, being part of the community. But
he won't stop bitching about how he can't hear.
But it's all these, my hearing aids, my hearing aids. It's like, get over it, you broken record. Come on.
He won't stop bringing it up.
He's just... constantly with it, and then Judah wants to be accepted in a way that I don't think the Amish is able to support. I think, is that basically how he laid that out there?
Kind of. He was like, Judah wants to be created in a way that the Amish don't believe.
Created?
And then I was like, wants.
Wants to be created in a way? What does that mean?
As in, it's a choice.
Oh, okay.
That's how I took it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm not giving them more credit just because nobody was, like, outwardly, terrible and homophobic. You can say things and the subtext is still there.
Right. Well, then you have Bishop Vernon who's like, actually, I think that's a good lesson for the community in general, too. We need to be more accepting and open-minded and loving and caring to the folks who are not from the community.
He proceeds to then say that we need to meet Judah where he's at today as he continues to grow.
Right.
As in, we'll pray the gay away.
Yeah, we'll stomp that out of you. Here
maybe
in a
you
bit.
think you're bi today, but
we'll find you a good Amish wife.
Once we spend a little bit more time with you,
we'll find you a good Amish wife. And then you'll be all set from there.
That's basically what I heard.
Back on the straight and narrow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying there as far as that. But
I feel like they were like, look, that's a bad look for the Amish.
Okay.
You know, if we say a bunch of terrible things about how we don't support him because he's bi.
Right.
So let's just clean that up in a way that like maybe some people will only hear the positive aspects of.
Well, speaking of only hearing some parts of things, Aaron then jumps up and he's explaining how, the hearing aids, that was a big deal here. This is very difficult to be integrated into a community where not everybody is speaking English all the time too. And like, it's hard to decipher what's going on and how to interact and connect with people when you can't hear them. And so this was like a really big sticking point for him. And then James is over there. Ugh, here we go again, you know?
Well, I like that he like tried to explain the technology where he was like, you don't understand. Like my hearing aids, they're connected to my phone. So I also need my phone.
The
and
hearing
I need
aids
my
connected
hearing
to
aids.
the phone app. The phone app's connected to the...
And I was like, I think they get it. They don't care.
Yeah. Just don't use them anymore, okay? I don't care. That's where you're missing the point, Aaron. Yes.
And then Esme gets up and she's like, I have like gained a lot of confidence now that I don't have the makeup and the nails anymore. And like, I really just want to give that back to this community because you guys made me feel confident and beautiful.
Okay, so was that the goal here? I don't think that was the goal, though.
I'm glad that you have grown.
She got something out of it.
That way.
Yeah, like that's cool. But I don't think that was like...
Like, I don't think like that's what the Amish have set out to do in the world.
Yeah, you know, like that's the main thing. Well, I guess Alan kind of was saying, like if that's what your journey is, that we were able to teach you something here about like your self-worth and stuff, like good, because you needed that, obviously. And so like at least that was something that you're able to take away from this.
I kind of felt like for her story, we almost needed like a reunion to catch us up months later and see where she's at and see if she shows up to the reunion still like with as much makeup and, you know, because
they show some clips of people after the fact, but it wasn't like a whole follow-up
No,
thing.
It was like a very like short update.
Very brief. So then what's BJ, she's like, oh yeah, the morals, that's a real important thing. It's
you
not
can't just dress Amish.
Yeah. It's not just the look. You have to like live it.
Embrace the morality and the culture and
the judginess.
The religion.
The shunning.
There is more than just like the appearance aspect of being Amish.
Right. Which she seemed to overlook at first. And then now it's like, okay, now that's kicking in. That's making more sense.
Because she did show up kind of feeling like she was clearly the front runner just because of the fact that she'd been dressing Amish.
It's not a competition show, though. Even though, you and Amy were basically saying it should have been a competition show. That would make it more interesting.
It would have been so much more fun.
Yeah. To compete for a vying spot in the Amish community, only two can be selected. Two top Amish, or something.
Top Amish.
The men and the women. So those are the only spots that are available this season, or this cycle, or whatever. And we're only doing. You
want to be on top? Let's bring Tyra in.
No, please don't. Please don't.
All right, Judah just said the same thing he's been saying about how he got to pet all kinds of animals, and like he touched a fish. And like this has all been a lot for him, and he's grown a lot personally.
Well, I love when he first jumped up, and then he was like, "I forgot what the question was." Can
you tell me exactly what's my line?
What were you?
Line.
You wanted me to. You're asking me to say something about my experience here, but like what? What about it? What was it though? I think I misunderstood the assignment. Maybe
Bishop was like the positive. Don't only talk about the positive parts of being here.
Good things.
How was your experience? He was like, I pet a lot of farm animals.
Yeah.
That was a highlight
Overcame a lot of fears of animals. Had never been around animals.
And also, I want to be accepted for who I am, and I want to teach people about Jesus.
Okay. This might just be my imagination here going wild, but in the first episode, wasn't he Muslim? Or like his family?
His family was like,
Muslim?
weren't they telling him at the table,
saying.
you are Muslim?
Yeah.
How are they going to accept you? And that never, ever got brought up.
Does he know that those are competing things?
I don't know. And also, like, when did the religious aspect of this, aside from the time that they went to church one episode and like everybody bailed out early,
Except
much?
for Aaron, because he couldn't really hear what was going on anyway. So he was like, I'll stick around. I didn't know, that it was, if it was over, if it was still going.
But when did Judah get so passionate about Jesus?
Yeah.
It just felt like that just got shoehorned in.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought that would seal the deal.
He's overcompensating. Yeah, he's trying to make up for, there's this one thing that I think they might not like, so maybe I need to double down on kind of, converting to Christianity, perhaps. Maybe this Jesus guy
might help me out.
It's pretty cool, Yeah, I might have to look into this a little bit more. Maybe.
These are all things we've heard them all say before.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like nothing new or interesting.
Yeah.
And then they break for lunch because they're contractually obligated, to make sure that everybody gets fed and that they hydrate them since BJ went to the hospital.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So they're having lemonade and subs.
ShopRite subs. Yep, definitely. It's all
what was happening?
It was
like catering.
It was Hoagie Fest at Wawa. And so they just grabbed, what they could at that point. And they said, okay, great.
So
yeah,
everybody's
let's go with
feasting.
That. Yes.
And they're supposed to be using this time to kind of contemplate whether or not they want to join, because they talked about the positive parts of their experiences, but that wasn't their answer as to whether or not they want to be Amish.
I thought that Aaron made a joke where he was like, well, at least we didn't get kicked out. Like, none of us got kicked out, because obviously there's two people who didn't make it to Reckoning Day, but like, they left on their own terms. Yeah. Oh, and Emma, too.
Everyone keeps forgetting about Emma.
Everybody forgot about Emma.
Even the bishop.
Yeah, especially the bishop. And so when Aaron made that joke, and then Bishop Vernon came over and he was like, yeah, and was like kind of upset. And I was like, is he about to rip into Aaron right now? No. He's mad at James. So he's very disappointed. And yeah, it's kind of weird how we started with 6 people and then we ended up with 4. And that's your fault, James, because you're not very welcoming.
Why did they save this as this confrontation during the finale?
I don't know.
He's known about this. You've been sitting on this information that they've lost multiple people. And you haven't said anything to him about it until now.
Here's the thing. Bishop was upset about it when it originally happened, but he was shunning him. That was his instant reaction, was like, oh, don't talk to him about it. Now he wants to talk to him about it. And it's like, we're kind of over it. It's kind of too late to change anything now. I think he was hoping that James would see like the error of his ways and then change for the remaining 4 people who are still there.
I think he was disappointed in what he stood up and said.
Yeah, that it was like mostly negative stuff. It wasn't anything good about the remaining people. So James has this negative mindset about the contestants here, the prospects, the hopefuls. What do we call it? The top Amish. Next top Amish.
The next top Amish. But that's kind of it. And then it fizzles out. Like, there was no big fight. Dramatic moment. Like,
no.
I wanted to see the bishop drive James off the property.
Yeah, with an axe. If necessary.
Tell him to get his stuff and like just cast him out into the street.
Yeah, because what's worse than shunning? It's, the like excommunicating, right?
Isn't it the same thing, kind of?
No. Shunning's like a temporary. Yeah, shunning's like a temporary
Okay.
thing where people aren't talking to you, people aren't interacting with you unless they like absolutely have to.
I'm pretty sure you can't like technically get excommunicated from like participating in a reality TV show where you're pretending to try to expand the gene pool of the Amish population.
Yeah, it's
by
tough.
Bringing in and like shepherding English to become Amish.
Yeah, it's you're trafficking. You're getting real close. You got to be careful. Yeah. Something.
Some of these people didn't feel like they were there of their own free will at certain points in time.
I think Esme was confused where she thought she was trapped there until Reckoning Day. And it was like, babe, you could have left any time you wanted.
Can I tell you my theory about Emma? Is that Emma realized partway through like what kind of show they were making and then was like, I don't want to be part of this.
Really?
And that's why
Because
she left.
we just watched 8 episodes and I still don't know what show they were making. So I don't know what she was able to decipher in production of what type of show they were making. I don't know what that means.
I think she got uncomfortable with the production itself and was like, I'm going to go home. I don't like the way you're representing the Amish.
Okay.
I would like some air conditioning.
Maybe that. A little bit of that. Mostly. All right. So then after lunch and a slight confrontation between Bishop Vernon and James, but didn't really pan out to anything of interest. Now the English need to take some time and really contemplate. Do you want to continue down this path? Because again, it's going to be like good 3.5 years. And then once you're in for life. There's no way out.
There's no going back.
Yeah.
It's like, or what?
Happen.
Like, isn't the stakes also a little different when, like, if you get shunned or excommunicated and you previously weren't Amish, you have a family to go back to? Like, that's usually the negative side effect. The negative aspect of getting shunned as an Amish person is that everyone you've ever known is within this community, and now you're on the outside of it.
Yeah, and you have nowhere to go. You have no way to navigate the outside world. So
right. You would just have people go right back into the thing that they've lived in their entire lives, and they would have, family outside. It feels like that's not as big of a threat as maybe it is to the actual Amish people.
Right. Yeah, true. It's true.
I think that's part of why they don't really bring people in.
Yeah. Well, that's, kind of the basis of the control
of a closed community.
Yeah, is that aspect of you don't have any other choice, so fall in line because you won't be able to survive without us out there in the wild. So good luck.
So Alan and James, then they start like speaking Pennsylvania Dutch to each other, and everyone's confused and a little anxious. They walk away and they're questioning what's happening. And then they come back with the contraband chests from like the first episode.
Yeah, so this was all of their things that they went sifting through and seized and then put them in these trunks basically to bring out for the finale episode. That's what we've set up here and established. So now they didn't really do a good job of explaining like this is your time to decide if you're going to continue to stay here.
No, they were kind of like,
it was just, here's your stuff.
Will you be tempted by your English things?
Here's your stuff.
Your worldly possessions that we took away from you.
And then they open the trunk, and then Esme's like, starts picking stuff up, and she's like, yep, I'm going to need all this stuff back. And then it was like, do you know that that's like this is the decision time.
I loved the way she went back and she was like, I've just got to go home for a little bit.
And think on it.
And think on it a little bit and figure some things out. But I'll be back.
And then I'll be good. Yeah.
Like she didn't want to disappoint them, but she was like, give me all my stuff, my makeup trunk, all the things that I brought with me
heels.
That you took me away.
Yeah, just everything.
Did you notice, I think, in one of them, like either she missed something or Kendra missed something because there was like a lime green top in there. I was like, I think it was Kendra's.
Yeah, probably.
They didn't give her all her things back.
Yeah, she packed in a hurry.
That was her fake wardrobe that she showed up with.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely.
Yeah. They didn't get to go through
piled it all in
the chest with all the contraband before they left.
No. Yeah, they left that in the trunk.
Some people had their phones in there.
Some people. They got those back from production, though. I would assume, probably. Yeah. But that was basically the question was like, who's gonna be going back to English, being English? And Esme was like, yeah, me first. See you later. So that it didn't really build to anything.
No, and also I think like she was probably the least surprising of everyone.
Yeah. Because then who did they have next? Aaron? Yeah, Aaron went up there and he grabbed his hearing aids and he's like, I'm going to be needing these because the hearing aid and my phone. And so then it's like, okay, I guess that's it then. So he took all the rest of the stuff too.
1-star review. Lack of ADA accommodations.
Deal breaker. Yes, definitely. That was the basis here for
He told them that. Aids. He said, I think the hearing aids are going to be a deal breaker.
He told them that the first day when they were taking all this stuff away from him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. that might be a little bit too much for me, a little bit too far. And they were just like, well, it's in the trunk now.
You think they would try to do anything to hold on to him, right?
Yeah, you think they were like...
They thought he was like very valuable.
They were all in on Aaron. They were like, he's good on plow. He's good with scythe. He's feeding the animals.
We're going to get him plowing. He's plowing some Amish women here.
Maybe he was too hot. Maybe that was it.
They also never talked about that, about how the goal is to expand the gene pool.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like, do you have an interest in, like...
If you found someone who, like, maybe could be, like...
marrying someone
a companion?
Here?
Do you get a choice in that? Like...
Are you assigned someone? Does Bishop Vernon choose?
Also, you know, people have mentioned BJ is a lady of a certain age. Like, how does she fit into the picture? If the goal is for them to reproduce, if that's the only reason that you're bringing people in here.
In 3.5 years? Yeah, like, is that going to be a thing? I don't know. Yeah, that's going to be tough. That's going to get tricky.
I feel like they could not keep track of the story that they were building.
Yeah, again, it was like 3 different shows that just kind of rolled into, and then they were trying to wrap up all of those.
It was giving MILF Manor. Remember when MILF Manor, it was like week to week, it seemed like they were just making up the rules and changing things?
Yeah, because it was like, oh, there's a game that's a challenge where you get something. We don't really know what it is, though. And it's just like, okay, then if you guys don't know, then why do I care? What's going on?
Yeah, not the same level of showrunners as on The Traitors.
No, it's a little different. Well, that's what somebody had shared a clip from. There was like somebody on TikTok who's a producer of reality TV stuff, and then was talking about the finale for The Traitors and like how much production went into. Because like if you look at the last episode of The Traitors, it was pretty straightforward, but like you have ways of building in, oh, this could happen. Maybe that could happen. Like the different theories and the things that could be said.
Right, as part of the editing.
As part of the editing, where you're like making moments and like building something more than what it is for the viewing audience. Yeah, like this is presenting like a documentary too much.
Well,
where
even
you're not
in this,
building.
where they had really no interaction with the Amish community.
Right.
Okay.
There's no investment.
The only investment they have is in each other, that they all went through this together.
Yeah. Which you see with like Judah and BJ.
Right.
They're very close. They're very tied into this.
But there was no like, I can't, it's like hard for me to imagine going home now because I feel so connected to these other people that I've gotten to know while I'm here. Or, you know, maybe there's someone who there's a romantic interest in, and you know, now you're going to have to either totally cut off contact with them or choose to stay here for them.
Or scratch your phone number into the phone shanty wall and hope that they give you a call sometime.
Please, James disassembled that the minute they walked away. You know, there's a lack of stakes.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when BJ walks up and then she's taking a look in her trunk and she's got her pink rabbit on top. And then it's like...
I thought she was going to grab that baby and walk out of there.
Ooh,
didn't you? I was
just this.
She's been too hot while she's here, but I think she's envisioning herself in a hotel room somewhere with the AC cranked to like 60 and the rabbit.
With her leg propped up on the bed, one foot on the bed, and then a fan blowing right in the undercarriage there too.
Yeah.
Just a cooling breeze.
I thought she was going to be out of here, but she walks away from it because she's decided that she is going to stay Amish.
She has decided. Yeah, she's going to stay Amish, guys. Shocker. That
I was kind of surprised by that.
Really?
Yeah, just I thought that
she came into the game
she was
knowing
like
it.
Playing along.
I thought that she was going to get kicked
predetermined.
out. I thought she was going to get kicked out.
This show's fake, right? I mean, like we
absolutely
we know that. That's the undercurrent of everything that we're saying.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
So she was the person who came in here, and it's like, okay, you're going to stay.
Okay. Well,
I
thought
she
did
was because they kept showing her like commentary later, and she has highlights.
I thought she was going to get kicked out. Like I thought that was going to be her. Like the problem was that she was like a shoe-in. No. She wants to stay, and then they were like, no, not this one.
That didn't even happen.
Right, because you could have built that. Her parents said that in the footage that you have from 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Like you could have built that as her storyline of like, oh no, she's upsetting people in the community. Are they going to say no to her?
Like she's been her entire life working towards this.
Yes.
And then you tell her no.
She was really banking on that. But no, it comes down to her decision. And of course she decides to stay. So it was like, oh, okay, wow. big surprise there. And then Judah is left with the same decision to make. And he's like, no, save those boots for later. These boots are made for working. And,
I kind of wanted to see him put his English clothes on again.
Just one more time.
Because that was quite the look that he showed up in.
But yeah, Esme and Aaron, they leave. They pack everything up. Yeah, summer's almost over, guys. Like,
I gotta go back to work.
That's what it comes down to. I think that's really what it
got to get our classrooms together.
ends with. Yeah, we got to get the the teaching plan put together here for next year.
You have a lot of work to do after this.
A lot of work.
We get updates from after the show.
Yeah.
We gotta mention this about how the bishop was like, I don't know. I hope that like if they got something from it, that like maybe they're just like not on their phones all the time.
Okay, boomer.
That would be that'd be a great improvement, even if that's the only thing they took away.
Well, Esme did stop using fake lashes, so I would say
the show did its job.
That's worth it. Mm-hmm. I don't care what else anybody has out of this.
Save one person from plig lashes.
Esme is no longer wearing terrible fake lashes, and you can just see her face now.
Her life's better for it.
Yeah, I think that's a big improvement.
Kendra is dancing for God now.
Okay,
She is turning down dance opportunities if the outfits are too skimpy. She got her tattoos removed.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how that's relevant to the story at all, because we never heard anything about her tattoos.
Yeah, that wasn't a big thing about the tattoos. And then she's dancing for her church now, which, of course, yeah, a church would be like, yeah, come dance for free. Like, we're not going to pay you for it. Yeah, like, just, but yes, provide those services for the entertainment.
No, what was the name? I'm sorry.
What? Yeah, Hillsong.
Hillsong. There you go.
What did you say?
I don't even know what I just said. I was like, I know that's not right.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, she's in Bible college.
She's in Bible college.
Things didn't work out with Matt.
No, not her cowboy, is how she described it.
I didn't even care about Matt's update. He was just like, yeah, my kids.
Because we saw Matt for 30 seconds on this show. Yeah, of like, oh, but we can't bring our phones? Never mind.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked them now.
Too late.
It's like after you already tried it and failed, like now they want to try to be Amish.
Quit.
Like,
yeah, don't worry.
You were trying to pull them in there before they even knew.
I don't know if Bio Mom would have let that happen, too, because that's what we were saying, like visitation and stuff for that. I think you'd be like giving up custody of your kids then at that point.
You think Mom gets the kids in the summer to go on a vacation for like a longer period of time, and that's when Matt showed up on the show?
Yeah, it could have been.
And then he was like, I got to go home because like the custody schedule goes back to normal now.
Oh, yeah, that's why he was
I had
only
like a
there
2-week window.
2 weeks, and then he was gone for 2 weeks, and he came back for a second.
Also, I feel like maybe like Kendra had something booked, and she was like, I got to leave now.
Well, plus she missed her family a lot. I think that was the other part. She got homesick.
Yeah. Did that woman ever dance on this show?
On the show? Maybe at the Rum Springa thing when they were drinking.
Okay. Oh, yeah. She twerked a little.
A little twerking. A little bit. A little bit.
James was watching. Your opportunity on TV to try to get a role somewhere else.
Now you said you're dancing for God for her church service and stuff. So, James is going to be watching those videos. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll be keeping an eye.
Oh, no.
For sure.
That's creepy.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Are they
throwing that out there?
Is this your church?
Pretty much.
Throw their stuff up on YouTube? Because I think James is subscribed.
I guess we'll have to ask him. Yeah. Have to see.
Aaron makes sure he visits and supports his local Amish market every weekend now.
That's the best I can offer at this point. Thank you for the experience. It's a summer I'll never forget. But yeah, I'm not doing it again anytime soon, I guess, is really the main takeaway here. For Aaron, specifically. Even though, yeah, Amish market, that's great. Cool. Support it. Good. I like that.
He's buying his potato bread and whatever else.
Yes. Which is an Amish thing, yes.
Yeah, we did learn that afterwards.
People did confirm.
Judah and BJ, we really don't get much of an update. We don't get to see them immersed in a community. We just find out that they're trying to find a Mennonite community to join.
I think for Judah, that would be a better fit.
And they want to be roomies.
Yeah, because for Mennonite communities, they're a little bit more accepting to individual personalities. It's not as rigid and strict as Amish communities. So I could see that being a better fit, especially for Judah. And then BJ's trying to learn.
Most of the Amish people on the show were Mennonite.
Yeah. Well, at least the ones who were on
real
camera.
Identity.
Yeah, the ones who were on camera and stuff too, definitely. Except for like the extras who were in the barn for the ceremony here for this episode. Different. But BJ's trying to learn Pennsylvania Dutch. She didn't really seem very fluent. It was like a Duolingo sort of level of expertise at this point. Not very impressive. She wasn't speaking full sentences.
Maybe that's something that the Amish should work on if you want to expand your gene pool, is like
Duolingo.
Get people on Duolingo learning Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we need more advocacy.
That way they're like ahead of it.
Honestly, I've never checked to see if there is an option for that, because they
do
have
a lot of languages.
They have a lot of languages, and some I was like, oh, I didn't even know. But I don't know if that's one of them. I guess we'll have to double check now. We'll have to check.
Sarah and Alan claim to have moved back into the bat house, which is now batless.
No bat sightings in, at least 10 days? So that's real good. That's a big improvement.
James is still shunned. He didn't get unshunned, which was the entire motivation for him supposedly participating in this show.
Yeah.
And he's searching for another community that will be welcoming of him, which we know to not be true.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to track. He's searching for another show to hire him.
Maybe he'll find him on Wii Loop or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Another show to hire him.
We'll have to check.
And Emma went home and she won't do anything like this ever again.
Yeah, I'm surprised she came out and lasted as long as she did for this.
I thought they just weren't even give us an update on her because everybody kept forgetting about her.
Yeah.
Because they just kept focusing on how Matt and Kendra left.
Right.
And then
nobody would somebody else Emma. Emma left too, but she wasn't really one of the people that we were supposed to be as invested in, but I was wondering about it. Yeah, it was strange, but we found her on social media. It was she's not Amish.
She's not Amish.
Ex-Amish, whatever, you know.
What the fuck was this? I feel like it was a fever dream.
It happened.
I
this definitely
enjoyed
happened.
myself while the fever was peaked in the middle there.
Yeah.
And now I'm coming out of, my fever coma.
Yeah.
And I'm disappointed again.
Okay. It started slow.
Mm-hmm.
It ramped up to okay, there was some interesting stuff in the middle there. And then it really fizzled out.
Took a nosedive.
Yeah. Just kind of fell flat. What would they do to improve this for
Make it a game show
for a second season?
They have to be competing.
A competition. So there's limited spots.
Yeah, we need to maybe vote people out week by week.
We need an established.
Start with a larger pool of people.
Yeah. Because 6 is not enough. Too.
No.
If you're just throwing people in, if it's going to be competitive.
I realized the story was kind of boring.
Well, here's the thing. So for casting then too, you need to get a villain from the participants. So you need to find somebody as part of the casting
Michael
process.
Rappaport's season 2, suddenly Amish.
Oh, no. You know what this place needs? Yeah, no.
But you imagine him eating the food off of all the plates?
Yeah, they would vote him out right after
Week
that.
1.
They would see.
But that way, if you're causing tension in the group can get rid of you.
Okay, yeah. And you have to pair up in romantic couples because then that way it assures that you won't get, you won't get voted out.
Maybe we'll have alliances form.
Right.
I think we do need to have interaction with Amish, the Amish community. So, you're already making a fake show. Why not just give us more fake Amish people?
Yeah. You could just stage it all out and just build from there. Because I just don't see doing this on a similar fashion. I don't know how many people turned out for the tryouts, the recruiting that was happening, the casting call for the contestants part, because we only pulled 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just that's not a lot. So yeah, if you change the format a little bit here, maybe that would get people interested.
Also, I feel like it needs to have a frontier house element where they're given their own plot of land.
Yes.
And they need to live on it as Amish people and do the work.
I'm all for any shows that can be more like Frontier House. And I'm not talking about Back to the Frontier from Magnolia Farms Films Pictures stuff. I'm not talking about that crap. I'm talking about good old Frontier House from the year 2000 PBS. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
A classic.
Yeah. So more shows that could be like that. I'm on board with that. Definitely.
I think we need all of those elements to improve this.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have the budget for that.
No. Yeah, but to like hand them a farm and just be like, okay, figure it out.
And then maybe they have to rely on the community to teach them how to do things.
Right. And then if you're not making friends, you're not learning how to do stuff, your farm's going to fall into disrepair.
And then I want to have like the element of like, you know, you haven't been going out of your way to get to know people. So when you go to church, people are like, you know, side-eyeing you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Being judgy towards you.
It's a social element. It's a social game.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
There's our pitch.
So we've already improved it, I think.
You're welcome, TLC.
I guess.
And Hot Snakes Production. Hot Snakes Media. Isn't that what it's called?
Hot Snakes? Hot Snakes is something different.
No, wasn't that? That's the name of the production company.
Okay.
Behind this. And Pig Royalty. It does sound like it's Rob's production company from the Traders.
Hot Snakes. That's also a joke from Parks and Rec when Andy goes to the doctor and he's talking about when the poop comes out like a hot snake.
Oh, gross.
So he's talking about hot snakes. And then she's like, Andy, stop
really
talking
hope
about
I
hot
got
snakes.
That right.
Andy, stop saying hot snakes.
I hope that wasn't misinformation about the name of the production company.
I hope it is Hot Snakes now. And if not, that's the name of our production company now.
If you're wondering what else is going to be coming on the podcast now that we have ended our exploration of Suddenly Amish, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Mom Talk is back. We'll have our Mom Talk marathon dropping. It'll start on March 13th, right? That's the day after it actually airs on Hulu. They drop all 10 episodes at once. And we will have 5 days of Mom Talk.
2 episodes at a time. And then if you're looking for early, ad-free access to those episodes, because we're going to drop them on the Patreon the day that the show drops as well. So
right, they'll be a day earlier.
Yeah.
That's typically how the early releases go. Right. And ad-free.
Yeah.
And then 7 Little Johnstons is back on St. Patrick's Day. We're celebrating Trent Johnston's birthday.
Yep. And
with a new season.
It's going to be a whole new season. It's looking like Elizabeth's wedding season. So we'll be building to that. Doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of Anna. I don't think she was involved in filming for this season. So we'll keep an eye out for her. But
we're very excited to talk about it.
I want to talk about it.
We've only talked about one episode over on Patreon. That was a Let's Talk About It episode. And then we did a 7 Little Johnstons binge update where we talked about, at that point, we'd gotten like halfway through all
10?
of the seasons.
I think we were through 10 seasons.
Now we're all the way up to the last one that's aired.
Yes. So we're still only the first few episodes in on that one, but we're getting caught up, and we will be caught up in time.
So we're well versed in the Johnstons universe, ready for this new season.
Ready. And then after that, The Bachelorette. So that ties back in with Mom Talk Marathon as a continuation of that. Was that March 22nd?
Yes.
It's going to air.
The day that it premieres.
Airs on ABC, and then it's available on streaming Hulu next day. So that's when we'll probably be dropping those episodes on Patreon, is the Monday right after it airs. And then for the public feed, you'll get those on Tuesday morning.
Mm-hmm. Taylor Frankie Paul.
Taylor Ruby Frankie Paul. Different. It's different, though.
Also, if you're interested, we mentioned Patreon a lot. Head over there and check out the new benefits that we have. We've renamed the tiers. There's new benefits. We have all video episodes that are available now. So if you'd rather watch than listen, that's something you can do over on the Patreon. And if you're enjoying what you're listening to, please leave us a written review.
It really helps the podcast, and we truly, greatly appreciate it as well.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.